Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the presidency of Barack Obama. So please start by writing down our essential question. How did Obama respond to the problems facing our country? Don't forget, you can pause or rewind this video at any time, and you can turn on those captions or subtitles if you need them. So in this video, we're going to learn about how Barack Obama wins the 2008 election, and we'll talk about what he was able to accomplish during his 8 years in office. Let's jump in. So first, as a Black man, Barack Obama is America's first minority president. Minority meaning a person who is not white. And a lot of factors contribute to his historic win in 2008. First, as we discussed in our last video, George W. Bush was facing a lot of problems as president. From 9/11 to the war on terror to the mishandling of Hurricane Katrina, people were pretty eager to change it up and go in a new direction. When the financial crisis hits, we went into a recession, meaning the economy sucks. It's hard to find jobs, and the jobs that you can find don't pay very much. And the things we all need, like food and gasoline, just gets more and more expensive. When Obama runs for president, he was exciting and had new ideas and promised many changes and spoke about hope for the future. During Obama's presidency, there were a few big problems facing the US that he worked to fix. One, healthcare was just too expensive and people could not afford insurance. Two, the financial crisis was developing into a major economic depression, causing a lot of job loss. Three, there were just very little opportunities for women and minorities in powerful government positions. And finally, human actions causing global warming was hurting our planet. We're going to look into Obama's solutions to all four of these problems. Arguably, Obama's biggest contribution and his biggest promise to the American people was to reform or to fix our healthcare system. Medical insurance costs were really high, making it impossible for many people to even have insurance. If someone without insurance has an emergency, let's say they need to visit the ER, well, the insurance company won't pay for their care because they don't have insurance, and the individual person isn't going to be able to pay for their care either, which is likely to cost thousands of dollars. Also, if you had a pre-existing condition, that is, for example, someone or something a person might be born with and just has no control over, such as type 1 diabetes, an insurance company was totally allowed to deny you coverage and just straight up refuse to insure you. Our healthcare system needed to change. Obama approved the Affordable Care Act, which is popularly known as Obamacare, and this required people to have medical insurance, but also provided a low-cost government option, and it also made it illegal for companies to deny a person because of pre-existing medical conditions. When Obama took office, the biggest issue that was facing our country at that point was the economy. In our last video, we talked about how the financial crisis cost many people their jobs and their homes. Well, when Obama became president, he worked with Congress to pass the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, with the goal of trying to fix the economy. The goal was to stimulate or to wake up our economy by having the government spend some money, and that would trigger necessary things like job growth. I think this is best explained with an example. Say you work in construction. During the crisis, you are laid off because your employer can't afford to pay you anymore. This causes major disruptions when lots of people are out of work. So the government decides to spend its money on construction projects like repairing bridges and roads. Your company can now hire you. Now you can pay your bills with the money you make from your job. Maybe even go out to eat every once in a while, which supports local restaurants, which can now pay its employees. You can see how this starts to snowball and helps many people. The graphic on your screen shows job growth. Obama's stimulus bill helps get our economy out of a really bad place. Obama also chose to expand opportunities to women and minorities who tend not to be in very powerful government positions. Obama actually chose his opponent, Hillary Clinton, to be his Secretary of State, It is one of the most important and visible members of a president's team. The Secretary of State represents the United States across the world and helps the president decide what to do when dealing with other countries. He also appointed 2 justices, both women, to the Supreme Court, Sonia Sotomayor and Alina Kagan. There are a total of 9 Supreme Court justices, and their job is to interpret the law. The Supreme Court is responsible for some of the most important decisions in U.S. history, and we'll be looking at those decisions all throughout the year. I want to finish up by mentioning President Obama's decision to protect the environment. He really pushed us to invest in clean energy sources like wind and solar instead of oil, and helped pass some laws aimed at limiting pollution. This is our final video lesson for Unit 1. Thank you for watching all the way until the end. I'll see you in our next unit when we dive into the 1990s.